have never been seen before. Some with no heads, and others with powers no one can explain. From mysterious to eerie, these real-life sightings are as unexplainable as they are unsettling. A man trying to park his car was caught on CCTV, and at first, nothing seemed off. But no matter how he tried, the car wouldn't fit into the spot. Frustrated, he stepped out, and that's when things got strange. Instead of giving up, he grabbed the car and dragged it into place with his bare hands, like it weighed nothing. People online were stunned. Was it hidden strength, or something not entirely human? Real-life guardian. A man was crossing the street, not noticing a speeding car coming straight at him. In the very next second, someone else showed up out of nowhere. This guardian angel just appeared, grabbed him, and pulled him to the other side. It all happened so fast that even the guy who got saved looked confused. He had no idea how he ended up across the street, and whoever helped him could be seen walking away, while the man was still in shock. Headless encounter. While exploring an old abandoned station in Indonesia, a tourist came across something that shook him to the core. Just across the platform stood a figure with no head. It didn't move. It didn't react. Just stood there, like it belonged. That stillness made it even creepier. The tourists didn't wait to find out more. He bolted and never came back. To this day, he swears it was real. Some places stay abandoned for a reason. Vanished on trail. It was a sunny day, perfect for a mountain trail ride. Two friends were biking downhill, with one filming from behind. But what the camera caught was something no one could explain. The front rider suddenly vanished mid-ride. 1 second he was there, the next, gone. His bike dropped to the ground like he had evaporated into thin air. The friend behind stopped, confused and scared, looking everywhere but nothing. He didn't stick around. Whatever happened, he didn't want to be next. Superhuman strength. The following footage was recorded by a construction worker who wanted to show something utterly unbelievable. One of the construction workers had such impressive strength that he managed to lift and move a 4-ton truck. The video captures him casually moving it to the side without much trouble, making this video one of the strangest things ever seen on tape. Spider Girl. In this shocking video, a Japanese student just pulled off the impossible. During her break, she asked her friend to record her scaling the side of her school building. The video makes it quite clear that there were no ropes or wires. She climbed to the top by using her amazing skills that were supernatural to say the least. Even if we consider this to be impressive parkour skills, the way she climbs and moves had parkour experts totally baffled. Candle control.
Yeah. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes.
Yeah.
A man walked up to a random guy on the street, holding nothing but a candle. Calmly, he asked him to look into his eyes. The moment their eyes met, something changed. The guy's face went blank.
My eyes.
Yeah. Hey! Oh!
People nearby freaked out as he stumbled back, looking possessed. But don't get too spooked just yet. Turns out, the man with the candle was Imad the Magician, a well-known illusionist famous for messing with reality.
Hey! Oh! What?
Rock trick. In front of a group of stunned friends, a man walked up to a patch of dirt and placed his foot down. With one strong pull, he lifted a large rock from underground. At first, it looked like a strength trick, but then things got weird. He made a small hand motion, and the rock started rising on its own. It looked way too real to be a prank. Whatever he did definitely left everyone speechless. Vanishing guardian. A woman was crossing the road with her baby, completely unaware of the car speeding toward them. But right before impact, something impossible happened. A figure appeared out of nowhere, grabbed them both, and in seconds, they were on the other side, completely fine. People around were frozen. No one could explain it. And just like that, the figure was gone. Many now call it a guardian angel sighting. Others say it wasn't human at all. Airborne Man. A magician's greatest trick is fooling the audience. But how do you fool people out in the open? An impossible feat was achieved by one of the most well-known magicians in the world, who showed people he could actually levitate in midair. His cameraman was supposed to go around him as he was high up in the sky, to show that no wires were being used for this display. And the cameraman also managed to show how there was no truck or crane nearby. So how did this magician actually pull this off? There are two theories. One, he used the trees as cover. And second, careful editing. What do you think? Cyclist glitch. A group of friends was filming a casual video in the park, laughing, talking, just having fun. But when they watched the footage later, something felt wrong. A man on a bicycle suddenly appeared right behind one of them, riding past like he had been there all along. But here's the thing, no one saw him. Not even a blur before he showed up. One frame, nothing. The next moment, he's there. And just as quietly, he vanished. That moment still doesn't sit right with them. Mystery Man appears. In the middle of a live news report from Peru, everything seemed normal. People were walking around, some heading into a nearby cafe, until one man suddenly appeared out of thin air. He wasn't walking in from a corner or out of a door. He just showed up. Right there on screen. What's creepy is how no one else seemed to notice. There were no reactions, and some now say it wasn't a glitch, that this was real, and maybe teleportation is possible in the future. Lifted away. Late one evening, a man was riding his bike along a quiet road near a bend. He stopped, looked around. Everything seemed normal, but then his bike dropped. And he didn't. It was like something pulled him straight into the sky. It was fast, surprisingly silent, and shockingly smooth. Locals searched, but there was no sign of him, only his bike lying there like he'd vanished mid-ride. People still talk about it, but no one has answers. Stretch shot. Everyone was hyped during a regular basketball match until one moment stopped the crowd. A player made a quick shot, and at first it seemed like pure skill, but in the slow-motion replay, people caught something no one could explain. His arm stretched way farther than any human arm should. It wasn't a camera glitch or trick. It looked real. Movements like that don't happen unless you're not completely human. And yeah, reptilian theories, this moment just gave them a new highlight. Adamantium claws. A strange patient walked in one of the Russian hospitals claiming he had some sort of discomfort in his hands. So the doctor asked him to place them on the table. And boom! 2 sets of metal claws protruded out of his knuckles. The doctor got the fright of her life. I have doubts on its authenticity, but honestly, her reaction made the video much more convincing. Telekinetic clapback. This footage had a pretty calm start. It was just a bunch of friends hanging out, laughing. But one guy pushed it too far, constantly picking on the girl beside him. She kept quiet until he crossed the line. She stood up, flicked her hand, and just like that, he flew back onto the couch without her even touching him. He tried again, and got slammed again. She walked off like nothing happened, while everyone else sat there, wide-eyed. She was trying to be careful with it, but it's clear she lost control of her powers, so she had to immediately leave. Confused teleporter. Footage shows a semi-truck nearly hitting a confused man in a lab coat. It's like he appeared out of thin air, but the driver was quick enough to avoid him just in time. But if you see the video from the start, you can tell that he was already standing on the side of the road. And as soon as the semi-truck got close, he walked right in front of it. Spooky, isn't it? Creepy video. In this unsettling clip from Mexico, CCTV captured what should not have been possible. There were a bunch of people in the video, but the security guard reviewing the footage kept pointing towards this woman in red, and for the right reasons. As the camera followed her, she slowly started to disappear. Specifically, it was her head that was glitching out. Her head was phasing out, changing shapes, and then completely vanished. Now, if it was a camera glitch, then her entire body should have disappeared, and it didn't happen to anything around her or other people, making this clip that much more convincing. Superhuman girl. A schoolgirl walking home pulled out a small perfume bottle like any other day, but when it slipped from her hand and rolled under a parked car, she bent down, then did something wild. With zero hesitation, she grabbed the edge of the car and pulled it aside like it was made of paper. This CCTV did become popular in Japan, and although it's been almost a decade, no one can provide an explanation other than her having superpowers. There was no press release, not even a company claiming this was part of an ad. Eerie man footage. A bizarre clip from Ipoh, Malaysia, has been quietly making waves online, and for good reason. The footage shows a man walking down a street like it's just another normal day, except he has no head. What's unsettling is how calm he seems, moving without any sign of pain or confusion. He walks past others, but no one reacts. The camera quality is clear enough to rule out pixel glitches, and yet the man's head is simply missing. Some say it's a camera error. Others believe it's something way deeper, a glitch in reality, or a spirit crossing over into our world. Wall walker. This CCTV footage from 2016 was captured outside a convenience store. It shows a mysterious man donning a hoodie, approaching the closed 7-Eleven when the unbelievable happened. He walked right through the glass door, and surprisingly, the camera also glitched at the exact same moment. The man then walks out with a beverage, and the homeless man was just as stunned as you are right now. Many debunked it, claiming it was a camera trick. But what do you guys think? Mystery Savior. Security footage caught something that left everyone scratching their heads. A man was walking past a construction site when a giant metal gate suddenly came crashing down. But right before it hit him, a stranger gently tapped his shoulder. The man stepped aside, just in time. When he turned around to thank the stranger, he was already gone. No one saw where he came from or where he went. It was like he appeared just to save him and vanished before anyone could blink. Flying girl. What this cameraman caught deep in the woods remains unexplained. He was enjoying the cold wilderness in Russia with his dog when his pet felt something wrong with the place. He followed and caught a girl levitating in midair as her witch mother was just below her. This girl was actually flying, and it is unbelievable to even consider how this was possible. He accidentally tripped over because he was so shocked, which alerted them. And before he could do anything, both of these supernatural beings disappeared. Speed blur. He was just walking to his car like normal when a few alarms randomly started going off nearby. At first, he looked confused, like maybe he'd bumped something without realizing. But when they checked the CCTV later, things got even stranger. A blurry figure zipped past so fast it barely even showed up on camera, and nobody had a clue what it was. Floating woman. This security camera caught something that's now making the rounds online. A woman in a long, flowing white dress slowly glides across the frame. The area was completely empty at the time. Locals say a woman once lived nearby who vanished under strange circumstances. Some think it's just a trick of the light, but others aren't so sure. Whatever the explanation, the footage feels deeply unsettling and far too detailed to ignore. Real person teleporting. In this mysterious clip, a real person materialized out of nowhere after 12 a.m. The footage was released by a homeowner in Idaho. The appearance looks eerily similar to a tall, broad woman with long hair appearing out of thin air. And the only reason this Idaho resident even checked their CCTV backup was because his CCTV stopped working the day after this incident was captured. So, during the checkup, he noticed what made no sense to him. This could be a camera glitch, but she does come out of nowhere. Creeping figure. While checking CCTV footage outside the building, a security guard came across something he couldn't explain. A ghostly figure suddenly appeared, dressed in long, flowing white clothes, gliding through the frame like it wasn't touching the ground. It looked almost like a witch from an old folktale. The figure can be seen looking around before fading back into the darkness. The footage had no glitches, and that made this eerie moment into something no one has been able to explain. Vanishing girl. In a quiet park in Iraq, a woman was walking alone when something strange happened. A young girl suddenly appeared right beside her. But what's even weirder, the woman didn't flinch. She looked at the girl like she'd been expecting her. Then, without saying a word, the two walked away together. No one could explain how the girl got there, and some now believe the woman might have summoned her, or maybe she was never alone to begin with. Extra deer. A group of friends was cruising past the edge of the woods when they noticed two deer standing still near the trees. They slowed down to take a closer look, but just seconds later, as they drove ahead and glanced back, there were three. Just an extra deer that hadn't been there before. The area was clear, no blind spots, so how did it get there? Some call it wildlife, others call it a glitch in the Matrix, because nothing about that moment made sense. Fading biker. In Dallas, a man was checking his home's CCTV when he saw something strange. A young boy rode up on a bicycle, stopped briefly near the driveway, then sat there for a moment. Seemed like nothing. Just a quiet neighborhood moment. But then the boy started to fade. His outline got weaker, more transparent, until he completely disappeared. Shocked, the man asked around, but no one recognized the boy, and no kid was ever seen passing by again. It's like the camera caught a memory that wasn't supposed to be there. Tiny illusionist. In the middle of a busy street in China, a 7-year-old girl is pulling off tricks that are leaving grown adults